Hello and welcome to the Third and Long podcast, the only podcast for NFL punters. I'm your host, Grant Lee. Third and Long is brought to you by Little Birdie TV, topsport.com.au, Punting Form, and the home of stand-up comedy, The Comics Lounge. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a very big day, and now it is time to introduce Nick Tedeschi, my BFF, pro punter, and the master behind his tips package to the house. Welcome, Toprope, mate. Playoff week.
Yeah, very exciting and very pleased that my 49ers continue to keep on rolling and probably favourites to get to the NFC now.
And we are very lucky today, Toprope. We are welcomed and we will have live from downtown Miami, Florida, my compadre and our NFL tipping machine with his tips package, the Shoebox. Welcome, Mr. Jerry Jones.
What's going on, fellas? My Dolphins bowed out, but they fought valiantly with a third-string quarterback and a coach they can't get to play in on time.
Mate, I tell you, we will get to all that very shortly, and the Cowboys making it through to the next round was very exciting in my house as well. So, boys, let's have a quick chat. With a banged-up offensive line, can the Cincinnati Bengals still deliver and beat the Bills on this weekend, Jerry?
I say no. Foreshadowing, I'm going to be betting Buffalo. And for the reasons you just said, I mean, the banged up offensive line was banged up going into the Ravens game. They lost Jonah Williams. They should have lost that game, and not just lost, they should have lost handedly. That 14-point swing with the 98-yarder, that's just something that is pure random, pure luck. And I think that their run ends here. And it's just amazing how the NFL works, that the Damar Hamlin game that got postponed, we're getting a rematch 3 weeks later. We know they're going to play on the field again.
It's crazy. It's going to be quite emotional for both teams, and I'm very excited for the match. But Daniel Jones left a very big impression in his first playoff appearance on the weekend, beating the Vikings. He became the first player, how's this one, to throw for 300-plus yards, 2 or more touchdowns, and rush for 70-plus yards in the postseason. Is Jones the real deal, Toprope?
Yeah, I'm not fully sold on him being the real deal, but Brian Daboll's obviously unlocked what he's needed to do with Jones. It's been a remarkable rise for a player who's pretty much maligned since he's been drafted. So, spoiler alert, I'm very keen on the Giants this weekend, and I think that Jones is certainly good enough to take the Giants to a conference championship.
So the Vikings were 11-0 in one-score games this season. They lost their first one-score game on the weekend. The Vikings defense, I didn't realize how bad they were. Can you believe how bad they were, Jerry, on the weekend?
I mean, it was wild. It was just like you said. I mean, Daniel Jones looked like Steve Young out there. I mean, they were using quarterback power and quarterback off tackle. Like, it wasn't just pure scramble. They were calling a lot of design runs. I mean, they just could not get off the field, and they just ran out of gas. And Barkley looked like the Barkley of old as well. So if you got those two guys clicking, I mean, they can do some damage.
So the Buffalo Bills narrowly missed being the biggest upset I've seen in postseason history over the Miami Dolphins. They turned over the ball 3 times, and Miami scored 18 points from the takeaways. What must the Bills do now to clean up their offense, Toprope?
Respect the ball and respect the run. I know this is a passing league, but all Buffalo's problems last week were self-imposed. Most of Buffalo's problems that they've run into this year have been self-inflicted. I know it's been an emotional few weeks, but the closeness of last week's game had very little to do with Miami and very much to do with fairly lackadaisical Buffalo team who got up 14-0 and kind of played with a certain degree of arrogance to them. They've got lots of weapons. They try to get everyone involved. They need to use the ball quickly. They need to. James Cook looks like a more than handy runner, and just make sure that's at the moment. They are just covering up the Buffalo receivers and hoping to beat them in zone defenses at the moment, and that's causing a lot of trouble. He's think he finished second or third in the interception count this year. He was very poor last week. He fumbled, got picked off. So, if they hold the ball, I expect that they should, obviously beat the Bengals. But if they don't, they could be in some trouble this week.
So Tua Tagovailoa hasn't played or practiced since he suffered a second concussion in Week 16. Do the Dolphins need a reliable backup just in case Tua doesn't make it? And is Tua Tagovailoa in the plans for the Miami Dolphins next season, Jerry?
Yeah, he is. I'm going to throw out something that has not been talked about anywhere, but I'm throwing it out there. So don't take any stake in it. But I would love for them to go after Lamar and give up Tua. I mean, Lamar's not happy. I mean, can you imagine Lamar with Tyreek and Waddle, the speed that they would have on that team? Again, I haven't heard that anywhere. I'm just throwing that out there. I think we need to move on from Tua. They need to move on from Lamar. But that's more dreaming than anything. But I'd love to see it happen. But yeah, they needed a capable backup because Bridgewater didn't even. The reason you gave Bridgewater the money was in case this happened, then he wasn't even there. We got stuck with Skylar Thompson, who was 10 for 35 at one point. Somehow scored 31 points on 150 yards. So a lot of turnovers, a lot of big returns, defensive scores, short fields. But other than that, they looked inept.
Funny you say that, Jerry. The Ravens will enter a franchise-defining offseason after injured Lamar Jackson missed the playoffs. Mate, he did not even show up to the game on the weekend, which I thought was crazy. What is the future for Lamar in Baltimore, Toprope?
Yeah, things are getting real nasty at the moment, and it's pretty clear he wants out. Obviously Baltimore have got to do all they can to try to placate him, but can these burned bridges be repaired? Obviously without the scandal stuff, there certainly seems to be more than a touch of the Deshaun Watsons about once the line in the sand's been crossed, there's no going back. So I think that they're pretty close to this now. The Ravens have historically been a pretty astute franchise, and if they want to trade away Lamar, they should be able to get something for him. But he's almost certainly going to leave sooner rather than later if he gets the opportunity. So they might want to be looking at getting something for him.
So the beasts of the East are definitely back. The NFC East has become the first division since 1997 to have 3 teams make the divisional round. Will we see 2 of these teams in the NFC Championship game, Jerry?
You're not going to like this.
No.
How about this? We're definitely going to see one, okay? Definitely going to see one. I don't think Dallas is going to get there. We kind of talked off camera how good Dak was. I don't see him hitting that high 2 weeks in a row. I just don't see it, especially against that 49ers defense. I will tell you, the Cowboy defense against Brock Purdy is a good matchup. So if they win it, it'll be a low-scoring game. I don't think they'll win in a shootout. They got to really make Purdy look like a rookie. And they could do it. I just don't see it. I mean, the line's 4, 3.5 across the board. San Fran looks to be the best team out there, and I think they'll beat the Cowboys. So you'll get one NFC East team.
I'm hoping Mr. Irrelevant does live up to his name this week and that the Cowboys defense can definitely burst his bubbles. So, boys, I think both the Dolphins and Chargers underachieved with the talent that they had this season. Do we think it's time for Mike McDaniels and Brandon Staley to be fired, Toprope?
Well, Jerry and I were talking of it before. I'm not sure Brandon Staley still has a job. Just considering some of the decisions, credit this stat to the great Jerry Jones himself, but they passed the ball more than they're up 27-0. They passed the ball more than the Jags did, who were trailing 27-0. That is abhorrent coaching. And I know he's been an analytics man. I'm an analyst myself. Some of the decision making was utterly confounding. You could see that disaster coming from a long way out. Staley might be a smart guy, might do better at a second job, but I think his time at the Chargers is done. Mike McDaniels has done a great job. I think they've had lots of injuries this year. He's adapted nicely. I think Mike McDaniels has done a wonderful job with the Dolphins this year. I wouldn't be firing. I'd be looking to extend him. I think he's done a fantastic job.
Thank you for the chat, fellas. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and take it to that. Welcome back. And now it's time to take it to the house. Brought to you by topsport.com.au. Family owned and operated for 35 years. Bet with a bookie you can trust. Bet with topsport.com.au. And Toprope, it's that time, mate. Get those turntables out. How did the bookie wrap go for wildcard weekend?
Yeah, look, we had 4 favourites win, but only 2 cover. We saw the over hitting 5 or 6, and if you had a 6 lead over all up, you're probably absolutely sick right now, because there was 4 missed extra points and a number of 2s attempted in the Dallas game and missed by half a point. So one of the sicker beats you'll have there. So it's kind of continued the trend of favourites winning about a rate of 2/3, but not covering the spread.
How did you go in the to the house there, Toprope?
Yeah, not great. Thanks for asking, Rick. Not great at all. It was we started off well with a nice comfortable win, but it was a pretty tough starting off that. Laid some big numbers on some big favourites who weren't covering that. The Niners did the job big second half there, but the Bills were horrific. I was saying to Jerry off air, they play that game 20 times. The Bills probably cover that 17, 18 times. Like it was just one of those situations where they just shot themselves in the foot time and time again. The Giants, Vikings under. I don't know how it got as close with 55, because it never looked likely. And the Bengals didn't cover. They only won by 7.
Those 3 turnovers in the Bills game, mate, no one saw that coming, and I think that was the biggest shock of the weekend. So, Jerry, would you like to show us your tips, pal, and take us to the shoebox?
Yeah, I didn't do much better. I went 0 for 3, and you want to call the whatever you want to call anyone being the worst beat of the week, it has to be the Chargers. Chargers was one of my bets. Absolutely ridiculous. 49ers total. There was supposed to be some rain there. It rained in like the first quarter. Then the sun came out. Brock Purdy looked like Joe Montana. So I wasn't even close on that one. Charger one is the one that really stinks out. And the Bengals, I deserve to lose that one. So I wasn't really close on anyone, but that's a good sign. Ready for a bounce back.
Well, boys, there's nothing better in the NFL than a bounce back week. And it always helps with the playoffs. And we are lucky. Once again, we have 4 matches, boys, and let's smash these out. We've got match number 1, Jacksonville at Kansas City. The line, Chiefs -10, and the total is 52.5. So this is the battle of the former Eagles coaches, Andy Reid and Doug Peterson. This will be the headliner. The Jags committed 5 turnovers, but railed to the victory against the Jags. The Chiefs won the regular season matchup 27-17. What say you on this one, Toprope?
Absolutely love the Jags. And this one, we've taken the Jags +10 with a good degree of confidence here. Number 1 seeds in the divisional round. Absolute take-on bet, even with the new format. Number 1 seeds favoured by 10 or less. 8-24-1 against the spread in the divisional round. Divisional round road teams that missed the playoffs last year, 26-12 against the spread. The Jags have covered 5 straight against a winning team. The Chiefs, most overrated team in the market, have covered 1 of 9 at home, 2 of 13 off a win. Got to be with the Jags in this one.
I totally agree with you, Toprope, and let's jump straight into the second match. The New York Football Giants at Philadelphia, Sunday, 12:15 p.m. All games are on ESPN and 7, mate. The Eagles are -7.5, and the total is 48.5. Boys, the Eagles are making their second playoff appearance under Nick Sirianni. Philadelphia swept the Giants twice this season. Week 18, 22-16, and Week 14 was a blowout. Where's the play on this one, Jerry?
I lean back and forth. I would have loved to have seen a 6.5 there, and I would have bet the Eagles pretty big, but 7.5 is more of a pass. I'm going to look to that total. The Giants offense looked amazing last week. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and the Eagles, you can't say enough about them since they got A.J. Brown. They just moved the ball up and down the field. Last week, overs were 5 out of 6 and should have been 6 out of 6. And I think the referees are swallowing the whistle on holding. I think I saw a tweet out there somewhere about the penalties that were called last week was like 3 penalties lower than the regular season. So the NFL knew what they were doing when they selected their crews. So look for some more points. I'll just take over in this game and pass the side.
Amazing. Thank you, Jerry. Let's head straight into the third match. Cincinnati at Buffalo, Monday, 7 a.m. The line, Bills -5, and the total is 48 points. So just what Jerry said before, Cincinnati are travelling back to Buffalo after that regular season matchup was postponed because of Damar Hamlin collapsing on the field. Boys, this will be an elite quarterback battle between Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. And I reckon, boys, that whoever has the ball at the end of the game will win. Who are we backing on this one, Toprope?
Yeah, take all the offensive line is the big concern here. But I'm leaning towards the Bengals. I'm not sure that Josh Allen has learned the lesson yet to start respecting the ball. Kind of there's been a pattern going on for a long while now. Well, the upside certainly with Buffalo. If Buffalo came out and won this, 35-7 wouldn't surprise me. But I think the more likely scenario is, like I said, it's going to come down to the last possession. It's going to be a close game. I'll just go back to the fact that the Bengals tend to be the most underrated team in the market. They've got a long history, of course, of a very ordinary franchise, and I think that kind of permeates how they bet. They've covered 17 of 21 off a win. They've covered 13 of 16 against a winning team. They've covered 36 of 53 on the road. The Bills have covered just 2 of 7 at home, 1 of 6 against a winning team. Kind of thinking the Bills are overrated, the Bengals are underrated. I'm on Buffalo to win it all. I'd love to see Buffalo win, but I think the number here might be a little too high. I think that the right number here is 3. I'm taking the Bengals plus.
So match number 4, this will be the match where either I talk to Toprope next week or I do not. Dallas at San Francisco, Monday, 10:30 a.m. The line, 49ers -4, and the total is 46. The 49ers beat the Cowboys last year in the wildcard round 23-17. Brock Purdy looks very comfortable, especially in his first start in the playoffs. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help when you've got a supporting cast with McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. Dak Prescott definitely silenced a few critics last week against the Buccaneers. Who have you got on this one, Jerry?
I'm going to go off the board here, and I'm going to bet Brett Maher field goals under. No, I'm just joking. Who knows if he'll even attempt one? I don't even know if they'll put a line on that. I just think the 49ers are the better team. They've been the better team the whole year. Not a huge confidence level. Just going with the home team. I wouldn't recommend anyone put money on this. If you want to grab popcorn, watch the game, enjoy a great game. It would not surprise me to see San Fran win 31-0, and it would not surprise me to see the Cowboys win on the field. So it's that type of game, all about game flow. For the purposes of this show, I'll lay the 3.5 with the 49ers.
Oh, sensational. So, boys, we have another massive weekend of playoffs coming, and you've just heard from the boys with all their analytics and all their tips and all the information that they're telling you. Head to the Little Birdie Live. Head to the Little Birdie shop. You'll find the boys' tips. They're definitely going to have a bounce-back week, and I can feel it already with what they've been saying this morning. So you'll find Jerry's Shoebox in there. You'll find Top Ropes to the House. It's available $22 a week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're serious about NFL punting, or you just want to show off to your mates, or you just want to get smarter and learn a bit more about the game, head straight to the picks. And Top Rope, is there any change at all in the Super Bowl market, mate? Is there any roughie that we can jump on with a couple of weeks to go?
Well, I don't think now's the time to try to find some roughies. I like the Giants and the Jags this week, so they're probably a touch of value there. But I'd be very much looking. I think San Francisco is a standout team in the AFC. I think the AFC is probably a little bit more muddled at the moment. I think there's probably 3 teams that can still come through the AFC. So I'd take the 480 on the 49ers if I was talking about.
I don't know if Jags can live the dream, but, mate, let's see what happens. Some amazing things have happened in the past, that's for sure. And Speaking of amazing things, it's time to head into our charity bets. And each week, the panel is granted $100 to invest by our sponsors at topsport.com. Thank you very much for that. And I can tell you, I was shattered. I had a push on the weekend. I took the Ravens +7. I've never sat in front of the TV screaming so much. How did you go, Toprope?
Yeah, the 49ers -10, looking dire straits at halftime, but ended up doing it easily.
And Jerry, for the listeners?
Yeah, like I said, I thought I saw some rain coming in that 49ers game. It never showed up. Brock Purdy lit it up. I never had a chance. Loser, stone cold loser, didn't get anywhere near the number.
So for everyone playing at home, Toprope is definitely leading the pack there at 12-7, and I don't think he's going to get caught unless he just concedes the next few weeks. But boys, this week I'm taking Dallas 49ers, the total to be under 46 points. That is my tip this week. Toprope, what have you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Giants +7.5 this week.
Oh, we've got a standoff here. Jerry, what have you got?
Well, yeah, I can't catch him if I don't go the other way, right? There's no way to catch him unless this is a double whammer right here. So I got the Eagles, and it'll be a 2-game swing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we officially have a bet off here, and boys, one of you is going to get ripped next week. That is for sure. So speaking of winners, 3rd and long ankle breakers competition. Mike Ty once again won. Picked the Cowboys. Good man. Ladies and gentlemen, this week there's only a couple of weeks to enter. There's some amazing prizes. The match this week is Cowboys versus San Francisco, Monday, 10:30 a.m. It's easy to enter. Basically, you've just got to tell us who you think's going to win. On my sheet here, it says 49ers. No, MG, we're not going with that. We're going to go with the Cowboys. Cowboys to win by 41 points. That's my pick for the week. And chuck that on your socials on Twitter at Little Birdie TV. 3rd and long TV, and be sure to tag a few mates in there as well. So a couple of weeks to go, guys, so jump on that. So, boys, it's that time to sign off. That's a wrap for our 20th show of the year. And we are down to 8 teams. Remember, jump on the boys' tips. They are bound to have a bounce back week. Head to littlebirdie.live. Subscribe to the packages from Jerry and Toprope. Be sure to follow us on YouTube. You can find us in the Apple Store, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And remember to follow us on all the socials at Little Birdie TV, 3rd and Long TV. And remember, for all your NFL punting action, head to topsport.com.au. Invest wisely, punters. Enjoy Divisional week round. And we will see you soon. Thanks, boys.
Take care, guys.
Lovely.